Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to flip the script on a topic that so many of us know, but maybe don't fully understand. We're going to explore a completely new way of looking at ADHD, not as a problem to be fixed, but as a genuine and kind of brilliant way of being. So let's just jump right in with a huge question. What if ADHD isn't a deficit at all? Seriously, what if it's just a different cognitive operating system? One that's maybe even better suited for a world that's all about speed, creativity, and new ideas. And this slide right here, this really gets to the heart of it. We're talking about a massive shift in perspective. We're throwing out that old story, all those negative words like disorder, defect, distraction, and we're embracing a brand new story. One that uses words like difference, superpower, and hyperfocus. It's about changing the whole conversation by changing the words we use. All right, so first up, let's unpack what our source material calls the ADHD paradox. Get this, we're talking about one of the most common neurodevelopmental diagnoses in the entire world. It affects somewhere between 5 to 7% of the global population. So you have to ask, right? If it's that common, why on earth is it so deeply misunderstood? And this slide cuts right to the core of that misunderstanding. For so long, we've thought of ADHD as a failure to pay attention, but the science is telling us a totally different story. It's not a lack of attention, it's a dysregulation of it. Think of it like a brain that's constantly scanning the horizon for whatever is most interesting, most rewarding, or most novel. And that leads us to this really powerful way of reframing the whole thing. Seeing the ADHD brain as a completely different and totally valid operating system. Which brings us to this absolutely crucial concept, neurodiversity. It's a simple idea, but it's profound. It's the idea that all these variations in how our brains work aren't defects, they're just natural parts of the human spectrum. Just like biodiversity makes an ecosystem more resilient and strong, neurodiversity makes our society richer and way more creative. Oh, I love this quote from Dr. Edward Hallowell. It just nails it perfectly. Think about it. A Ferrari brain has this incredible high-performance engine. It's powerful, it's fast, it can go places other cars can't even dream of. But it's paired with bicycle brakes. So the issue isn't the power of the engine. The engine is amazing. It's about needing a better braking system and learning how to navigate the road. Okay, so if we're working with this incredible Ferrari engine, how do we actually learn to drive it? Let's dive into what some people are calling ADHD superpowers. So let's start by busting one of the biggest myths out there. We've all heard it a million times. People with ADHD just can't pay attention. But the truth is, it's often the exact opposite. When something truly grabs their interest, the ADHD brain can lock in with an intensity that's just incredible. It's called hyperfocus. This is that deep, immersive flow state where time just melts away, all the background noise vanishes, and your productivity can go through the roof. It's the artist lost in their painting for 12 hours straight. All right, myth number 2 we need to tackle. This idea that the way an ADHD brain thinks is just chaotic, random, and makes no sense. But again, what might look like chaos from the outside is often the engine of incredible creativity. The ADHD brain is built for nonlinear thinking. It makes these amazing leaps, connecting ideas that seem totally unrelated to everyone else. It's the kind of thinking that doesn't just follow the recipe, it invents a whole new dish. And in a world that is screaming for new solutions, that is a massive, massive advantage. So how do we actually make this work in our daily lives? Let's get practical and talk about building productivity systems that are designed for the ADHD brain, not against it. This slide is so key because a lot of the standard productivity advice just flat out fails for people with ADHD. A rigid routine feels like a prison. Instead, try creating flexible rituals. Being told to just rely on your memory? No way. The secret is to externalize everything. In that classic advice to just start? Yeah, right. A much better approach is to gamify the task. Turn it into a game with little rewards to get that dopamine flowing. So here's a really simple 3-step framework you can try. Number 1, make it visible. For the ADHD brain, out of sight, out of mind is literally true. So use whiteboards, sticky notes, anything to keep it in your line of sight. 2, make it external. Your brain isn't for holding information, it's for having ideas. Let your phone's timers and calendar alerts be your external brain. And 3, make it urgent. That sense of urgency is a huge motivator. So create power hours or team up with a buddy to create that positive pressure. Now, these individual strategies are incredibly powerful, but the bigger picture here is about so much more than just personal productivity. It's about building a better, more inclusive world for everybody. And honestly, it is so inspiring to see what happens when these traits are channeled, not shamed. Think about the intense, unwavering hyperfocus of an athlete like Simone Biles, or the boundary-pushing, nonlinear thinking of an entrepreneur like Richard Branson. People like Will Smith, Solange Knowles, Howie Mandel, they aren't exceptions to the rule. They are powerful, real-world examples of what can happen when neurodivergence is leveraged as a world-changing strength. And this right here really captures the ultimate goal. This isn't just about making small adjustments so people can fit in. It's about true empowerment. It's about designing our schools, our workplaces, and our communities in a way that these unique strengths can be totally and completely unleashed. Which leaves us with this final, really important thought. What if the real revolution isn't about teaching people to change who they are at their core? What if we stopped trying to fix people, and instead, we started fixing the systems around them? Something to think about.